Welcome back to Ozarks Tonight. Well, it's time once again to touch base with a physical therapist from CoxHealth. This month, Helen Gondek is joining us on the program, and we're going to be talking about edema, a condition that affects many folks here in the Ozarks. Helen, thanks for joining us on the program today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
So to start things off, for folks that aren't aware, just explain to us what edema is.
So edema is just the medical term for swelling. Typically what we are is called lymphedema therapists. Our treatment previously was always thought to treat a certain type of edema, which is called lymphedema. But what we found that with our treatment is that really it works on all sorts of edema or swelling. So people can have swelling for really many different reasons, obesity, vein problems, heart problems, kidney problems. All of those things can lead to swelling or edema, as well as sometimes after cancer treatments, when lymph nodes are removed, people can develop swelling where those lymph nodes were removed from, and that would be called lymphedema. So the treatment that we provide is called lymphedema therapy, but it works on all sorts of edema, which is just swelling. Typically, swelling will occur, it could occur anywhere in the body, but typically it would occur in the legs or the arm. So basically, edema is just a fancy word for swelling or fluid.
Sure, and when someone comes in with edema, just kind of walk us through the process of how that's treated.
So here at the Cox Meyer Center in Springfield, we have 5 certified lymphedema therapists that work here. And then we also offer services in Monette as well at the Cox outpatient clinic there with 1 lymphedema therapist. So when you come in, the therapist will do a thorough evaluation to take a look and see what's going on. And then from there, what you'll have is what's called complete decongestive therapy, which is to promote swelling to go down. The treatment is going to be one-on-one with your therapist, 1-hour sessions typically, and the treatment would include some basic exercises to use the muscles to kind of pump the fluid out of the swollen area. We do something that's called manual lymphatic drainage or massage, which is like a special massage that we're all trained in that moves fluid away from swollen areas. Here in the Springfield Clinic, we have what is called Vasopneumatic Pumps. It's like a big arm sleeve or a leg sleeve, fills up with air and kind of pushes and moves fluid away from the swollen area. Skin care is important, so hydrating the skin. We're going to make sure that the skin is staying nice and moisturized. If people have swelling, typically their skin will be more dry, so teaching them how to maintain good moisturized skin is an important part of our treatment, as well as compression bandaging. So compression bandaging or wrapping looks kind of like ACE bandages, but they're not. We use what's called short stretch bandages. And basically they do the best job. They're designed to take a swollen limb and reduce it. So you would get all of those components, the massage, the exercise, the skin care, and then we would bandage you. Once we've gotten the swelling out, then what we're going to do is measure you and figure out what kind of compression stocking or compression sleeve to wear, make sure we get you a good fit, make sure that you can get it on and off, do training on those sorts of things, and teach you how to kind of maintain that swelling from coming back in the future. So that's what our treatment consists of here.
All right, and just kind of explain the importance of getting rid of this swelling. I would assume that some pretty serious complications could arise if this condition is not taken care of.
Yeah, so I hear a lot of times like patients will come in and they'll be like, oh, I just have a little bit of swelling. You know, it's not a big deal. I've been dealing with it for 20 years. But I don't think that what people understand is by leaving swelling, it actually leaves you at a very high risk for developing an infection. So when patients have swelling, their skin can't get the right circulation, so they get more dry and cracked, like I was mentioning before. Then they get a little cut or a scrape, and that little cut or scrape can turn into a big infection. Typically, it would be called a cellulitis infection because that fluid or swelling is a breeding ground for bacteria. So when somebody has a swollen leg, they might get a little cut or a scrape that turns into a cellulitis infection, whereas somebody that doesn't have a swollen leg might get the same cut or scrape, but their leg will heal fine. So it's important to get swelling out, and it's always better to treat a small problem and get it out and keep it out to decrease that risk of developing an infection in the future. So that would be the main reason to get rid of it.
For folks at home, how might they know if they could benefit from this treatment?
So the main way to tell if you have swelling is to do like a pitting test. So if somebody thought that they had swelling in a certain area, you take if I thought I had swelling like in the top of my hand here, you take your thumb and you press in for about 10 or 15 seconds for pretty moderate pressure, and then you remove and you look at that area. So if swelling is there, what will happen is it will leave a dimple. If it's no swelling, your skin will return to normal color. If it leaves a dimple, then you can be pretty sure that you have some swelling. That would be one way that, maybe we should do some treatment. And we're not talking about swelling as in like, oh, I hurt my ankle, I have a little swelling and it goes away after a few days. We don't need to treat that. Your body's going to take care of that. But this is swelling that's kind of staying around for a while that needs some extra help to get out.
All right, Helen, before we let you go, we got about 30 seconds left here. Really quickly, how can folks that are in need of this care get a hold of CoxHealth and get started?
So we are physical therapists and occupational therapists. So in the state of Missouri, we're going to require an order from your doctor. That can be any doctor. It could be your primary care doctor, your oncologist, your kidney doctor. You're going to go in, you're going to talk to them and say, I think I have this swelling. I'd like to go to the edema clinic. Doctors might think of us as more the lymphedema clinic because, like I said in the past, that's what they've known us as. You're going to ask them for an order. If they agree and send over an order, then our schedulers would be happy to reach out and schedule you. Personally, they could reach me. My name is Helen Gondek. So my email would be helen.gondek@coxhealth.com. And then lastly, our phone number here at the Meyer Center is 269-5500. So if they wanted to reach out and had any questions, they could do any of those things.
All right. Helen Gondek, a physical therapist at CoxHealth. Helen, I want to thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
We'll be back with more Ozarks Tonight right after this.